Welcome to the first of many videos of this new series. I'm gonna title it Raw and Rapid Anime Reviews. I'm not dead set on this name yet, but I don't know. It's what I came up with. In this series, I'm here to deliver, my unfiltered opinions on various anime. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to do a straight dive into what I liked or disliked about each series. I'm not gonna go, deep into the analysis of it or anything. It's just basically my opinions, unfiltered and full thoughts. If you're excited about the series and want more, I guess just leave your anime suggestions in the comments below. For today's review, we're going to be diving into Code Geass. Now, I won't be delving into the alternative universe spin-offs or the movies or anything like that, as they, in my honest opinion, were complete dog shit. I did not think they were good for the story, and I think they should just left it off of seasons 1 and 2. Which is what we're mainly going to be focusing on here. Now let's just get straight to the point. Code Geass is fucking amazing. If you disagree, I think you're wrong. I don't really care. The show had me hooked from basically start to finish. I loved every single moment, pretty much. I think it was amazing. But let's be real. It's not flawless, okay? Despite how much I loved it and how much I do love it to this day, I can admit when something is not flawless, and I know for a fact that Code Geass definitely has its flaws, as every anime does. There's no such thing as a perfect anime. Uh, but like I said, that just even though it's not perfect, I still love it to death. Uh, First off, the introduction to the series is fucking amazing. The first episode kicks off the story. Doesn't waste any time. From there it's basically just a roller coaster, up and down, very hype moments, very intense moments. Has you just on the edge of your seat pretty much the whole time. I will admit in the first season, there were some moments where I felt like I was a bit bored. I wasn't really interested in it. Especially in those first few episodes where they're still setting up everything, getting the groundwork laid, just setting everything up pretty much. But around like episode 12 or so, I think that's when I truly started getting interested, and I was like fully invested at that point. Now let's talk about the characters, right? They're amazing. There's Code Geass, in my opinion, has one of the best, if not the best cast in all of anime. That's just my opinion, though. Obviously, not every character is perfectly well written. Some the series just leaves off without giving full conclusions to. It just like leaves them off, and we don't really, get full rounded conclusions, which is fine. But yeah, basically every single main character I liked. There wasn't a character that I was like, I hate you, other than fucking Nina, bro. She was annoying as hell. But the dynamics, the relationships between certain characters, I liked. They were very captivating. Obviously, Lelouch and Suzaku, that dynamic is amazing. I love their relationship they have and everything. And Lelouch obviously is a fucking legend, hands down. He is probably my favorite anime character of all time, and I don't think it's close. You know, his introduction in episode 1 was amazing. All the way to the end of the entire series, he had me captivated. I loved the way he talked, his dialogue, his charisma, everything about him. I just loved. I think Lelouch is the perfect anime character, and I don't think anyone really comes close, in my opinion. The final episode obviously had me sobbing like a bitch. Him sacrificing himself for the greater good of the world, after everything we saw him do, and just all leading up to that moment, it just hit me hard. I love that scene. It's probably my favorite scene in all of anime, if I'm being honest. Not like I said, the other characters, I love Suzaku, C2, Colin, Cornelia, Orange. They're just some of my favorites to list off. I like all the other characters too, but those are just the ones that I mainly liked. Now, for the story, like the overall story, it's a masterpiece, in my opinion. The depth and writing, I think, are top notch. I think, is very deep, very well written, and there's nothing more to say. Easily one of, if not my favorite story in anime. There were times where it was pretty confusing. I'm not gonna lie. It led me to looking to Reddit for answers, which is very helpful, or MAL forums, whatever. And while these things can be annoying, 'cause I don't really like looking up like explanations for stuff, but this was fine, I guess. But yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, there were parts that were a bit too confusing. But I understand now, so it's not that bad. But yeah, and even after rewatching it 2 times, because I rewatched it to maybe try to get a grasp of everything, and I still found myself confused. But it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, the story is amazing. I love the story of Lelouch and Suzaku knowing each other as kids, the entire war and everything, and how all that played out. Just his Lelouch's life in school, and like I just love the entire story, man. I think it's beautiful. One more necessary thing I need to mention for a critique I have is the fan service, man. Like there's so much unnecessary fan service in this show, which a lot of people like and don't have a problem with. But me personally, I think it would just be better off without it. It doesn't add anything to the story, and it's just kind of just a selling point. I get like there's no point in having fan service in the show, in my opinion, and it just annoys me at times. And all right, next off, the soundtrack. Let's be honest, like the soundtrack is just amazing. Every single opening, every ending is an absolute banger. They're still on my playlist to this day. I love listening to them. The OSTs and themes are amazing as well. Those trumpets go crazy. You can't lie, those trumpets hit different. There's that one song that they play every now and then, especially on that last episode. I can't listen to that without tearing up. It's just, I think it's a really beautiful song. So yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. Lastly, the character designs were good. I loved the character designs. I think, some of them looked a little too good, if I'm going to be honest here. The fight scenes were impressive. Pretty good animation for its time. The fights were captivating, interesting, intense. And yeah, it was pretty enjoyable all around. So overall, I think Code Geass is a masterclass anime. I think everyone needs to watch it at least one point in their life. I think it's just one of those shows that you won't really get from anything else. You can watch like One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. They're all pretty similar. I mean, obviously they're all very different, but at the same time they're pretty similar in the way their stories are. But Code Geass, there's nothing really in anime that does it like Code Geass does. There's a lot of anime like that, but Code Geass, it's a one of a kind in my opinion. I think everyone needs to watch it at least once. If for some reason you haven't seen it, definitely go watch that right now. I don't know why you watched this video without seeing it. So the rating I'm going to give this is a 10 out of 10. If you couldn't tell by the amount of glazing I just did. But yeah, I think this is a perfect anime in my opinion. Obviously I listed flaws, but those are more personal things that aren't necessarily wrong with the series. It's just things that it's like I didn't understand something. That's my problem. I don't really like fan service. It has nothing to do with the actual show itself. So that's going to wrap it up for our first raw and rapid anime review. Yeah, like I said, it's not going to be super polished or in-depth or anything. It's just going to be me ranting about my opinions on the show, good or bad. And if you enjoyed this review, let me know in the comments. Drop other animes that you want me to do, and I will gladly do any anime that I've seen. It does not matter. So, yeah, this video wasn't that long, but I'm not trying to make them super long. They're just raw and rapid. They're gonna be quick. So there's a lot in this video, and if you want me to do a more in-depth review on Code Geass, I gladly will go over a lot more, as I love the series to death. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you stayed all the way through, appreciate you. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that, whatever. Thank you guys. See ya.